Hi, dear cricket fans. This is Ram with Cricket Happenings, and the one that we are going to talk about here is the third day's play in the match between in the third Test match, third and final Test match between West Indies and South Africa, which is now close to a result. As I predicted at the outset in the first day itself, I said, dear cricket fans, we are going to see a result which is match is going to finish within 5 days, and that's what is happening. On stumps on day three, West Indies are really struggling. In fact, they conceded a 115-run lead earlier in the day. After they did well actually to get Sri Lanka, the South Africa, out for 346 from their overnight score, but in the process conceded a 115-run lead. And West Indies themselves have not been able to perform well. They have continued their poor form. Yes, the ball was turning. There was wickets for spinners. There was wickets for Dale Steyn, who ripped the top order. And 130 for 7 is the final score at stumps on the third day of the final test against South Africa. And West Indies, well, they are just 19 runs 19 runs ahead of South Africa with 3 wickets in hand. Chandrapal is the sole hope, who is fighting a losing battle, I would say, not out on 57. Other than that, I have to just recount what happened today. Overnight it was, as you know, Ashwin, Prince and Boucher resumed, and so West Indies tasted an early wicket as Mark Boucher was run out through a combination of Ramadan and Bess, and he's gone for 17 with 2 fours. And then Ben came in, and Ben really bowled well. Both of us LBW bowled Ben for 9. Ashwin Prince, well, he was standing there like a rock. He continued his good, very impregnable defense, and he was looking good. Whether it was pace or spin, it doesn't really matter to him. He was there just going to stay put at the crease, and that's what he was doing best. But Dale Steyn, after that it was Dale Steyn's turn to go, but not with some drama here, because Dale Steyn was clean bowled with Kemar Roach for 4, but while he was walking from the pitch, he just spat at the ground, just walking past Roach, which was not taken too kindly, and there was a bit of an altercation, not a real altercation I would say, but a sort of a real some needle between Suleiman Ben, who didn't like it, Suleiman Ben and Dale Steyn, unfortunately. And Mon Markel got a ball from Ben which held its line, and Markel edged it to Bravo. He was gone. And Ashwin Prince was the one who really held the South African innings together, not out on 78 of 262 balls with 5 fours. A very good effort under the circumstances, and a very, very important knock from Ashwin Prince. 346 all out, lead of 115 runs for South Africa. The bowling first came out was 25 overs, 6 maidens, 2 for 59, 9 overs, no maiden, 1 for 65 for Brendan Bess. Schilling for 25 overs, 2 maidens, none for 85. Ben was the best. Ben actually picked up a 6-wicket haul today, 46.4 overs, 13 maidens, 81 runs on 6 wickets. And what a splendid performance from Suleiman Ben. Dwayne Bravo, 27 overs, 12 maidens, none, 43. Chris Gayle, 2 overs, 1 maiden, none for 2. As far as the West Indies innings were concerned, Gayle and Richards started off with some boundaries. Initially, when they were 115, they just started off there, the first over itself, Richards actually first cut Steyn to the boundary, and then also one more thing, beautifully ran the ball past Gully. Then Gayle followed with some boundaries. So a lot of boundaries. The first 3 overs saw a lot of boundaries being hit. And end of over, fourth over was a maiden, and West Indies were 27 for no loss, like both of them hitting some very good pull shots from Dale Richards, and some back foot punch stroke by Richards, and Gayle was also flaying the boundaries. And 27 for no loss soon turned into 27 for 2 when Dale Steyn came in and ripped open the top order. First he went for Dale Richards, who ended up playing a pull shot, mistimed it. Peterson ran back at square leg and took the catch. Dale Richards was on his way, caught Peterson, bowled Steyn for 17. And the next ball, Dion Ryan playing a very poor shot, playing away from his body. And that's it. He edged it, and that's it. It was taken by short covers where actually Prince took the catch, and Dion Ryan was gone for a first ball duck, and they were 27 for 2. After that, Gayle and Chandrapal managed to take the score on to 33 before Gayle was gone. What a ball from Gayle, from Steyn, which really lifted on Gayle. And Gayle was, there was a bounce, there was movement, and Gayle was gone. Gayle just tried to play at it, but only got an edge to Boucher of the bowling of Steen for 10, and 3 wickets were down for 36 for West Indies. And after that was a good partnership between Chandrapal and Nash. They tried to, because Botha and Harris was also bowling very well, so Steen had actually ripped open the top order with those 3 wickets. And well, after that there was a good partnership. The partnership went on to a substantial period actually. It went on to, there were not much boundaries scored. In fact, there were no boundaries scored. In fact, Chandrapal was the one who scored some boundaries. At the 26th over, West Indies was 70 for 3. And that's it. Brendan Nash was walking as Botha got a ball, which Brendan Nash actually just played at it, and the edge went to Callis, and that was gone. Brendan Nash was gone, caught Callis, bowled Botha for 12. And Dwayne Bravo got a beautiful delivery from Harris. Everything was there. There was turn in that, there was bounce in that, and the ball was actually pitched on the middle and leg stump and turned. And Dwayne Bravo couldn't do anything. It was absolutely squared up, and it went into the stumps. It spun between and went into the stumps. So Dwayne Bravo's unusual dismissal, bowled by Harris for 2, and Dinesh Ramadhan was caught behind the bowling of Botha for 1 from a top spinner. And it was all over. In fact, after that, Chandrapal was the one who had to take them to the safety of stumps. But in the meanwhile, Shillingford was there. But Shillingford was there for quite some time by actually taking on the score to. In fact, he was there till taking on the score to 7 for 128 before Shillingford was wrapped on the pads by Botha. Up went the umpire's finger. LBW ball Botha of 25 with 2 fours and 1 6. Shivnarine Chandrapal at the close of play was not out on 57 and 156 balls, 6 fours. Suleiman Ben is giving him company, not out on 4. 134 for 7 was the close of play score as far as West Indies were concerned. Just 19 ahead. The bowling figures: Dale Steyn 9 overs 3 minutes 3 for 31, and Botha was impressive: 18 overs 5 minutes 3 for 34. Also Paul Harris 16 overs 3 minutes 1 for 34. 10 overs 4 minutes none for 23 for Mon Markle. 4 overs none for 10 for Jack Scalise. And as I said, this match is looking like absolutely going. Tomorrow we are going to definitely see an end of the match. It's only going to be a time, but if Chennai and Chandrapal could just grind it out some more, that would be great. But to get support is going to be difficult because only Ben, Roche and Best to come. Ben is already there and Roche and Best to come. I think it is going to be a stiff ask for the West Indies, and it seems like South Africa would have taken the series 2-0 tomorrow. Well, dear cricket fans, as I said, this pitch has been very helpful to the bowlers. Steen also did a good job at the top order, and also Botha and Paul Harris also bowled well. So dear cricket fans, let's look out for early result tomorrow on the 4th day, unless and until Shivnarine Chandrapal could do something of a miracle and go for a big one, but that is going to be highly unlikely because if he doesn't get support, Shivnarine Chandrapal alone couldn't solve the puzzle here. So that's it, dear cricket fans. So Cricket has been a pleasure bringing you the final days, the 3rd day's play in this final test match. This is Ram signing off for Cricket Happenings. Thank you.